Wow. What's up there, everybody?
Greetings, monsters. How are you?
Welcome to the podcast. What's going on, everybody out there in the hoseheads world? We're back at it again, and I am your host, Tomcat, aka whatever, aka Monster Hunter Madness Man. I don't fucking know.
Monster Hunter Madness Man. So are you a big fan of the Monster Hunter game series, Tom?
Which one?
The game series Monster Hunter.
Do you remember that game Monster Mash?
No.
What was it called? There's a game I played and it was like a fucking on a CD-ROM, and you were this like boy in PJs and you used to go around like hunting, like killing monsters and stuff. I wish my brother was on the stream. He would know.
Interesting. Yeah, where is your brother? Where is the Lord of the Ginger Canadians?
Yeah, we'll see. I'm surprised he hasn't popped in any of my streams this morning because I streamed at dead of night, and I played for about 15 minutes, and then someone was like, "Oh, you want to jump on Friday the 13th?" And I was like, "I gotta get practicing on PC," and they're a PC user, so I was like, "Yeah." That Jimmy guy from that game jumped out at me, and I smacked my fucking mic on my teeth. It went into my fucking face.
I'm gonna have to not use in this episode.
So pretty much, yeah, I smacked myself in the face with the mic on the Dead at Night stream, which what I'm going to do, and I already started, there's going to be part 1, 2, and 3 probably or something like that. And for all the Patreon subscribers, this will be going up on Patreon, and I'm putting pretty much the whole game, cutting out the dry bits, and it'll be the first 2 hours or so, a little less than that, from the first time I gamed both times, and then it will be second and third part. So At Dead of Night is extremely scary. One of the more scary games. I want Anton to get it so he can experience it. One of the more scary games I've ever played. You get hunted by this guy in a hotel to try to hide his secrets. It's super realistic while you're trying to hunt ghosts. And I got so scared when I streamed it this morning that I smacked my fucking mic on my face.
That microphone?
Yeah, my mic went right into the bottom of my lip.
Oh shit, dude, are you good? You get a fat lip from it?
No, I thought I was going to because I was like, it fucking hurt. So you guys will eventually see that. The first part will be coming up in a week or two. So www.patreon.com/strangebrewttv. There is a lot coming.
Strange Brew.
There's a lot coming. So welcome. And you know who, if you haven't heard before, who else do I have on this biatch?
Well, I'm gonna just go with Reverend Kaiju for this episode because it's nice and monstery. But y'all know me as Anton. What's up, everybody?
So I know you're not drinking, taking a little easy weekend.
Oh yeah, I'm doing a booze-free weekend because I need it every once in a while. So just edibles and marijuana for me this weekend. So everybody, I got my tentacle Cthulhu pipe. I got my Cthulhu shirt on and legalize. Smoking
up. Yeah, I've taken it pretty easy this weekend. I'm playing bingo tonight. It's like on the TV, so we'll see if we win any money. So that'll be fun. I'll have a beer or two tonight. I'm also wearing my Are We There Yet? With the aliens abducting the kids on it t-shirt. And I got some herb, I got some oil, and I made my own iced coffee with whiskey and like a Bailey's too.
Oh my god, that looks delicious.
It's pretty good. So I put I already had, even though I'm not supposed to support them, I don't want to support Tim Hortons anymore at all.
So you didn't get Tim Hortons coffee then? That's just random beans that you found on the street ground up in there, right?
No, but Chelsea was out, so she grabbed me a coffee. I drank half of it, threw half of it in here, and then added ice, added more coffee, added some PJs, which is like essentially like Bailey's, and then some whiskey.
You want to know the ultimate life hack for iced coffees?
What? Yeah, because I don't know, it always melts.
So here's the thing. This is what you do. You when you make your pot of coffee in the morning, whatever's left over, you put it in an ice cube tray. You freeze those ice cubes, and you use those.
Wow. And then add coffee also?
Yes, sir.
What if you just put coffee in the fridge and then wait?
That's not an iced coffee. It's just a cold coffee.
Yeah, it's true. I guess it's a cold brew. So yeah, I'm really excited to get into this episode. The funny thing is I have not ate today. So we'll see how this coffee makes me feel.
I just ate a monster-sized salad. Yeah, that was good. That was free.
We're getting into some monsters and people who got attacked by them.
Alive! It's alive! It's alive!
It's alive. It is alive.
Do you also say Frodrick?
Frodrick.
No,
I love that.
Why isn't it Frodrick then?
People don't know that is Young Frankenstein. Probably, and that's going to be on an Unreal review for the Patreon subscribers, the people that support keeping the world strange. Because we're starting to do, we're actually going to rate and review movies. We're going to get into some of the stories and details of what the movies are about. But who knows? Because down the line on Hoseheads production, we might make a horror movie style podcast on its own. Because I think I eventually would want to get into that.
It's going to be. Well, I mean, at least the one that I've got coming out soon is going to be Dr. Kaiju's Hour of Trash. And I reserve the right to go Subgenius style and make it an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours long, if ever, whatever I feel. But it's going to be called Dr. Kaiju's Hour of Trash. And
that's going to be on the Hoseheads Productions. And so you're wanting to do it kind of about movies, right?
Well, it's all gonna be about movies. See, and not just horror movies, but any sort. Like we're not reviewing any Oscar-worthy shit. It's only B-grade horror, trash, and below.
Yes, and that's why we're gonna do the Unreal reviews, which is us just actually spewing out bullshit about different movies and what we think of them, and then eventually we're gonna be starting a whole new Anton and his buddy and
side project, and then I'll have guests on. I think that we're gonna have Tom as the first guest on that one, and then go from there.
So that will be awesome, and that will probably be through Hoseheads Productions. So we're gonna start a little shit get going. So from zombies and werewolves and even vampires, there's some stories we're going to talk about of real life attacks by people or creatures purporting to be real life monsters. While there are reasonable explanations for many of these stories, it is not so difficult to speculate that some of these might have genuine supernatural origins. Others, however, may demonstrate how disturbed minds can distort reality and causing harm to inflict on others. Hey, does this does this guy count as a monster? Does this guy count?
Cookie. Yes. Bye-bye. Yes, because if you remove the cookies, he's simply a hedonistic monster.
It's true. It's true. Yes. He just really loves cookies, and cookies are a euphemism for child butts.
Wow. Wow. Strange Brew Podcast, ruining your childhood one story at a time.
I don't know. Sesame Street is fucking sketchy, to be honest, especially with Big Bird promoting fucking dangerous.
Sesame Street now is sketchy. Yeah. Sesame Street now is sketchy. Sesame Street back in the day used to be amazing. And here's my reason why it used to be amazing is because many celebrities would use Sesame Street as their community service. For example, Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy was on Sesame Street because of some random drunken disorderly ticket that he got. And they made him do community service, and his community service was going on Sesame.
Wow, yes. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So I got my oil pen, so I just hit that up a little. So let's just get into it. I guess we'll go for one. I got a bunch. You got a bunch. This will be a fun one.
Mm-hmm. You want to start us off, Chief?
All right. So a vampire caused a car accident, according to a Colorado woman. She was forced off the road while driving home after she saw a vampire standing in the middle of the road. It was Robert Pattinson, and he was glowing, and she just started coming in her pants.
Oh, she accelerated to try and fix the problem.
Yeah, that's true. When the police arrived on the scene, the offending Nosferatu had vanished. He vanished into thin air.
Back into the night.
The police did not suspect that any alcohol or drugs were involved, though there was shit. Okay, we got to redo the beginning.
What happened?
I didn't record on fucking Roadcaster, right? We're going into it right now.
You are a whore.
Sorry for the people on Twitch, because you're the only ones that are going to see the beginning. This is raw cuts all the time. Always raw.
No apologies for the people on Twitch. You're welcome. You're welcome for the behind the scenes. You get to see how the sausage is made.
All right, so I'll redo the entire thing. What's going on, everybody? Everybody out there? What's happening? Welcome back to another episode of Strange Brew. I am Tomcat, and who else do I have on this kooky, spooky podcast?
Well, it seems only appropriate that today I go by Reverend Dr. Kaiju Diggit. So, Reverend Kaiju to all you out there, sweet listeners in listener land.
So, welcome to Attack by Monsters. So we're gonna get into a fun episode. This shall be a lot of fun. So, I got a little bit of oil for this episode. I got my shirt on that says "Are we there yet?" and it's got aliens with the kids in the vats of whatever the fuck they're in. And
I'm wearing my stained glass Cthulhu shirt, the one that I chose not to wear for the Lovecraft episode Juan and I did.
so you got Cthulhu on that bitch.
Yeah, it's stained glass Cthulhu. It says HPL.
It's pretty awesome. So, and then I have made myself my own iced coffee, and I put whiskey and a little bit of Bailey's, and then coffee. And I haven't ate yet, so we'll see how this makes me feel.
Oh man, that looks good. I did eat, and I had a monster-sized salad. I'll see myself out.
So yeah, this will be interesting. You're taking a dry weekend. I know that.
See, yes, only herb for me. So let's break out the Cthulhu pipe.
Yeah, hit it up. I'll take a hit of my my oil pen.
Get that herb nice in my lungs.
All right.
All you out in listener land, I encourage you to do the same if you can, and enjoy this wild, wacky, and monstrous episode with us.
Smoke Bob Marley toe.
Smoke weed every day.
Yeah, he didn't have toe cancer. They killed him. So we'll get into this crazy episode. But yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming down the pipe. And considering, our logo has changed for all the fans that have seen that, that's all coming on merch. It's going to be all over the merch site. So go to www.strangebrewttv.com. And definitely check out that because I bet you there's a lot of people that enjoy that. And that's why we're probably going to smoke a little more on it because now we have an alien smoking us out of a bong.
Smoky Toky. We're gonna get extra cringe, folks. We're gonna be forgetting words and saying a lot.
Yeah, I'll try to edit it out of the audio though.
Yeah,
so,
for all you Twitch and Patreon people though, you get access to the sweet way that the sausage is made.
Yes, and everyone on Patreon, remember, if you're a fan of this and you want to support us, it is $3 a month, www.patreon.com/strangebrewpodcast. We actually have a lot of stuff coming. For all the people that came in and we kind of were lacking for a couple months, we actually have a lot. We have an episode coming out actually about different monsters near Anton. We have lost tapes episodes coming out of stuff that has been forgotten and deleted and erased from the annals of history, except for on Patreon.
The archives will be opened. The floodgates released. And the doom will come your way.
So I was saying to Anton before I started this, I've been streaming a little bit on Twitch playing horror games as he does. Mm-hmm. And I'm playing At Dead of Night, which I want Anton to get into. But I'm going to take this whole game, cut out the dry stuff, keep all the funny shit, because I literally jump out of my chair. You're in a shining set hotel, kind of like, it's kind of like The Shining. You're trying to figure out why these ghosts died. Meanwhile, this guy that may have killed the people that are now ghosts, Jimmy, walks around and hunts you, but it's very realistic, and they filmed it with real people and then spliced everything in. It is a pretty incredible and realistic game. Today, when I was streaming it, just quickly, before I jumped on Friday the 13th, I fucking got so scared, I hit the mic into my teeth.
Oof. You didn't get a fat lip or nothing, did you?
No, I almost felt like I did at the bottom, but it fucking hurt. I was like, fuck, well, at least I got that in stream. There's some content for you. I only played for 15 minutes, and then someone's like, come on and play Friday the 13th. So everything's going to be spliced up for me playing that game because you only have about a week on Twitch to watch it. Mm-hmm. And it is a crazy fun game. I think the fans will enjoy watching me get scared, literally shitless. So it's going to come out in probably 3 parts altogether on Patreon. So make sure to check that out.
Do it up. And also, we got a good handful of our Twitch stuff up there. On the Patreon, our ghost hunting times, our devour times.
So I'm going to try to eventually get it where I can splice. I want to figure out how to put me and Anton's cameras in at the same time, or we're going to do it where we splice half of my stream, half of his stream, so you kind of see both of us and our reactions.
Yeah, any listeners out there, if you're versed in that sort of shit, send one of us a DM and
yes, let me know how
make your brain.
How we would splice 2 cameras together for especially when streaming, because I think that would be hilarious. And of course, who do we have in the chat?
Who's hanging out in chat right now?
I wonder who. So let's get into it. We're talking about Attack by Monsters.
Alive! It's alive! It's alive!
One of my favorite fucking movies. Putting on the roots.
He's going to be very popular.
I fucking absolutely love that movie. If you've never seen Young Frankenstein, it is probably one of my most favorite comedic horror movies.
Well, Tom, it's Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. Yeah,
You also say Frodrick. No, it's Frederick. Why isn't it Frodrick?
I love Marty. Marty, what's his name?
Marty Feldman.
Marty Feldman, amazing. People haven't seen it. Like, we're gonna be starting another thing for Patreon. That's why if you keep living the strange life and helping us support and keeping the world strange, we have a bunch of Unreal review episodes coming up where we discuss our views on certain movies. Especially, we're actually gonna start with, of course, the OG, what birthed this podcast. The first episode will be talking about, which may go to the main show, so people actually hear what the episodes are going to sound like on Patreon, and we're going to do Strange Brew.
Hell yeah, the OG, the one that started it all.
So we'll be getting into that, and then we're going to do our reviews and talk shit about certain movies, what we think of them, what the positives are, what the negatives are for horror movies especially, but also stoner comedies, stuff like that. And then Anton is going to start a project pretty soon with his buddy, and I will be on there. And we're essentially going to do it through probably Hoseheads production. So there'll be essentially 2 podcasts on our network, and then 3 if you really include strange ones. But explain what that's going to be like.
So it's going to be Dr. Kaiju's Hour of Trash. We're going to go hour of Slack style, and hour is not a defining term. It could be 45 minutes to 3 hours if we go off for that long. But it's just going to be primarily horror movies, garbage movies, and below. We ain't talking about no Oscar-winning bullshit. We're not talking about no epics. None of that.
Yeah,
we might get into a couple older ones that are pretty solid, but they're also lesser known. But it's just going to be a fun, not a little sidebar from all of our stuff, not like political or conspiracy.
Oh, no.
That will be in there as well.
Yeah.
But focus primarily on movies and which ones that we love and which ones that we hate, and just opinions, more glorious, shining, wonderful opinions that you all know and love and have come to expect at this point.
I will definitely be jumping on there a lot, and I'll be excited to hear you and Steve go off. I would like to, see how Steve is in the real world, so to speak. Yeah. This will be a lot of fun, and down the road, we're still young. I'm only 30. There will be other things coming down the road through Hoseheads Productions. Probably, if I could ever get enough money together, I would probably make a short film with Anton. So we have, and my actually one of my stepbrothers really wants to get into filming. He's probably going to school, and he needs actors and stuff to help him with stuff. And I was like, man, let me know. I'll fucking help you, and I'll put together some crazy ideas for you.
Yeah, we wouldn't even really need that much to we can definitely make a couple short films with just our cameras. And
oh no, 100%. I got a crazy good editing thing actually on my phone that I use for some of the stuff that we do. But my stepbrother wants to do movies pretty much. He wants to be a director, and I told him, I was like, I'm more than open. Let's do it. I'll fucking act for you. I'll do the best I can. I've always wanted to be an actor and a director, so we can get into this. So what are we talking about? We're talking about people getting attacked by monsters. So from zombies and werewolves and even vampires. Here are some weird-ass strange stories of real-life attacks by people or creatures purported to be real monsters. While there are no reasonable explanations for many of these stories, it's not so difficult to speculate that some of these might have genuine supernatural origins. Others, however, demonstrate how disturbed minds can distort reality, causing them to inflict harm on others. Very true.
The real life monsters, the monsters that are the darkest, which are the ones that are the most.
Just
no, he's a reptile. He's not a human.
Yeah, it's true. So, would this motherfucker classify as a monster?
Hi. Cookie. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Absolutely, because without the cookies, he is just a monster.
Yeah, and the cookies are a euphemism for child buttholes.
Oh my
Lord. Jackson.
Do you think he's part of the royal family?
Yeah, probably. He's probably like now that fucking Jimmy Savile or Seville or however you want to pronounce his name. Now that Jimmy Seville's dead, Cookie Monster gets all the kids. He lures them in with his cookies.
Jesus Christ.
So let's get into it. This will be a lot of fun. We're going to go kind of back and forth on different monster cases. We've been doing some pretty, I guess, heavier stuff. There's coming up, the people that get it on Twitch. But before this will be a very serious but fun episode. So there's a lot of We want to have something fun. We want to get loose. Get loose in the caboose.
Get it loose.
A vampire causes a car accident.
No, he did not. Really?
According to a Colorado woman, she was forced off the road while driving home as she saw a vampire standing in the middle of the road. It's Robert Pattinson, and he's glowing, and she's just coming your fucking pants. Oh, Robert, you're glowing. Oh.
What do you do, listeners out there, if you see Edward Cullen standing in the road, shimmering in front of you? You accelerate.
Yes.
Accelerate. Although the new Batman does look pretty fucking sweet.
Awesome. I asked my brother if you want to, because I'll be free to do something soon, because the narrative is crumbling. So I told my brother, I was like, in March, a couple of weeks, let's go see Batman. I want to fucking see that. Chelsea's like, you don't need to see it. She's like, they've done it so many times. And I was like, I will go see every single one. I'm not a guy that wears Batman.
You're not going to go to the movies? Like, what does it matter what you're going to go see? You're not going to a porno theater.
I know. She, because I was like, do you want to see it? It looks so good. And she's like, you can go see Batman without me.
Oh, there you go. I mean, she's her own then. If she doesn't want to see it, I mean, yeah, got to respect that.
And I understand her point of view because she's all like, they do this over and over and over again.
Yeah, of course they do.
Cycles constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Constantly. But
it's a guaranteed moneymaker. You make a Batman movie and you're going to make your fucking money back on it almost any time, as long as it's not a sequel.
I'm not going to wear Batman shirts, but I like comic books. I have a pretty big collection of comic books that I keep in storage. I haven't looked at them in a long time, but I enjoy that type of shit. And you know what? Ben Affleck will always be my Batman. Say what you
back to the vampire in the road, eh?
So when the police arrived on the scenes, the offending Nosferatu had vanished. The police did not suspect any alcohol or drugs were involved, though there was evidence the woman was not on her prescribed medication.
Of
course she wasn't. One small boy interviewed by the local news said, "I don't believe she saw the vampire," while a local teenage girl added, "That would be really cool. I hope that's the case."
I saw a werewolf and it winked at me and it gave me a candy bar. And then I said, "You're a nice werewolf." And they said, "I am an Armenian woman. Please leave me alone."
Perhaps the woman's reality was distorted due to the lack of medication, but even still, what did she see that one terrifying night?
I'm willing to bet it was just Robert Pattinson stumbling drunk through the road.
Yeah, I know. Let's get it.
Let's get it going. All right. So for this one, we are going to go to Kentucky. And all you Hellier fans out there might know this one.
Kentucky, fuck me.
Yeah. The Kelly Hopkinsville encounter.
Bro. Me and Billy did an entire episode about this case.
We are not doing this one then.
That's hilarious. Don't you remember the guy?
I do remember, but it was
Billy Ray comes out and he's trying to shoot the monster. Billy Ray, can you get the fuck out of the way? This monster's trying to rape me.
All right, so for this one, we go back to World War I. Perhaps the strangest story of World War I allegedly occurred on April 30th, 1918. According to unknown explorers, a British patrol boat off the coast of Ireland spotted a German submarine.
You say it right. It's Ireland.
Ireland. Expecting a battle, the Brits attacked, but the U-boat did not return fire. Weirder still, the Germans willingly surrendered. The British were puzzled by the situation until the German commander, Captain Gunther Kretsch, explained why he was so willing to give up. Guess Tom's playing with his moon. According to the tale, Kretsch surfaced so the sub could recharge its batteries. But as the Germans floated atop the water, a massive sea monster crawled up the side of the ship. Kretsch said the creature had gigantic eyes, devilish horns, and an impressive set of knife-like teeth.
Impressive set of nice tits.
It was fucking stacked. I rubbed one out at the porthole. I did. I'm not ashamed to admit it, but I jerked off to those fucking tits on that sea monster because they were marvelous. Marvelous. Then attacked the forward mount gun, latching on with its mouth in an attempt to rip the ship apart. Horrified, the Germans began firing, but the creature was dead set on having a U-boat for dinner. As it gnawed, it thought it was a pizza log. As it gnawed away, the monster began twisting the submarine upside down. Moments away from sinking beneath the waves, the sailors unloaded their guns, finally forcing the horned beast to retreat into the sea. Unfortunately, the submarine was too damaged to dive, but before the nightmare could return, the British arrived.
That
Of
rhymed.
course, not everyone believes this story. As skeptics have pointed out, the British commander made no mention of a sea monster in his official report. That's because they are monsters. They're reptiles, god damn it.
Yep.
I'm kidding, we love you in Britain. We love you. But your leaders are reptiles.
Yeah.
There's also no physical evidence because the Brits allegedly sent the ship to the bottom of the sea because it was a German ship, like you do.
Of course.
But believers hope that one day someone will recover the U-boat and prove that hungry monsters really are lurking in the ocean depths.
Oh shit. All right. You ready for this?
Back to you, Tab.
A self-proclaimed vampire mauls an elderly man.
Really on vampires on this one, aren't we?
I know. Milton Ellis is an older, wheelchair-bound man. Gentleman.
Fucking wheelchair bound.
Of course, he's from St. Petersburg, Florida.
Oh, I thought you were going to say St. Petersburg, Russia.
No, inappropriate at this time. I don't know what to believe anymore. So one evening in 2011, he encountered 22-year-old Josephine Smith on the streets while walking home. The two started talking and seemed to hit it off. So when it started pouring, they took shelter together on the porch of a vacant Hooters. so
As
fucking
all Hooters should be. They should all be vacant.
yes. Ah, man, I've only been to Hooters like twice when I was a kid.
Dude, what is the point? Is Hooters just a pre-strip club? Is it where you go when you're a teenager and you can't go to a titty bar? Like, what is the deal?
It's like a sexy, I don't know, like I don't know. I don't
I've
get
been there. I just don't get it.
You get short shorts and good-looking chicks with your food. It's very sexist, to be honest. I think it is.
Super sexist, yeah.
I think if they want to be progressive, they should get a bunch of men in there that are ripped and just have them wearing really short shorts, and then men can get uncomfortable, and the same way that women are when her boyfriend's like, I want to go to Hooters this weekend. She's like, well, why? You always want to go there on Saturdays. It's like, no, it's just my place. I really like the chicken wings. Is that why? Do you really like the chicken wings? Is that really why?
Okay, listen, if you open a restaurant that's just nothing but a bunch of super ripped dudes in hot pants, I'm eating there every day. Possibly 3 times a day.
While you eat.
What?
All the tables will be see-through so everyone can see each other's boners.
No, I'll wear appropriate pants. It's fine.
So Ellis fell asleep while waiting for the rain to stop. He woke up to find Smith on his lap. This is getting very creepy. When he asked what she was doing, she replied, I'm a vampire. I'm going to eat you. She then proceeded to bite him in various places, including his arm. Yeah, his arm and his lips, and broke enough skin that he was left bloody. Have you ever heard of that fetish where people think they drink blood and all that shit? You ever heard of that shit?
Where you suck blood through someone's skin? Or you, like, I've known people that actually had sanguination fetishes.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that might be what it's called, but I know exsanguination means when you drain something of blood.
No, I suppose I knew a dude back in the day when I was like a fucking emo kid, and he supposedly like was turned on by blood. I've said that story before. It's just strange to me. I was like, all right.
As long as it's consensual and y'all aren't seriously hurting each other, then, fucking have at.
He was a weird kid. He's a kid that he pierced his own dick. Yeah. And when
More
he was
power to you, but I could not.
14, this kid was like beyond emo, where I'm like, let's step away from this kid. Like he liked to cut his wrist and like fucking play with his blood. And I'm like, all right, this is why you telling me this shit, man. We're like fucking little kids.
We probably needed somebody to talk to.
So Ellis struggled and eventually escaped, made it to a phone and called the police. Yo, there's a bitch biting on my lips. She said she's a vampire. He was rushed to the hospital and was treated with stitches. She bit him hard enough. This bitch is delusional for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The police found Smith when they arrived at the scene. She was half naked and covered in blood. According to her, she had no memory of the events. She was arrested and was held on bail for $50,000.
Holy fuck.
I wonder how old this chick was, because that's
what I'm
fucking
saying. That's a lot of money.
So nuts. And like this, there's the ideas of what's that guy's Peter something, the guy that believed that he was a werewolf. Me and Billy talked about the werewolf episode. Peter Schnuffus or something, some stupid name. And he believed
Peter Sutcliffe.
Yeah, and he believed he was like a werewolf and like fucking, he thought he changed every night. Want to hear a stupid story?
Always.
When I was I was like, I don't know, 10 or something. This is kind of embarrassing. Me and my buddy, like, we watched some werewolf movie or some shit. I can't remember which one. It could have been fucking Ginger Snaps, or it could have been, I think it would have made sense if it was more of a man one. And like, we both had like big canine teeth on the bottom, right? And we believed we were like vampires. So we were like joking around. We used to play, like, we used to pretend we were in Lord of the Rings. I was like 8, 9, 10, like Lord of the Rings. Every time we saw a movie, we'd like act it out. And my cousin was over, and me and my buddy Austin were like, we're werewolves. We change in the night. Look at my teeth. And we do like these facial expressions. And my cousin was like, you guys aren't werewolves. What are you fucking talking about? And it's just so embarrassing.
There's a reason we're friends.
Just so fucking, I was a strange kid. Just like when I was playing at Dead of Night, which everyone will see on the stream. I left that part in, where there's these you find this picture, and it looks like a little boy's drawing a very bloody events, like cut off limbs and shit. And I was on the stream, and I was like, oh, Trent, my brother was on the stream. I was like, do you remember my drawings? And my brother's like, oh yeah, when I was a kid, I was always into horror movies, always into vampires and Frankenstein, all that stuff. So I specifically remember one drawing. I still might have it. And there's like, it was after I think I saw vampires. My mom would watch vampire movies with me and stuff like that. She enjoyed it.
Talking John Carpenter's Vampires with James Woods?
Yes, it might have been that one or a newer one, like Vampire 2000. I think it might have been that. We remember that
Dracula
film?
2000. That's the one that has Hyde from that 70s show in it.
Yeah. So I had this picture, and it's drawn the same way as these pictures in the game, where it's like almost like squared bodies, but there's blood everywhere, and there's a vampire standing with a sword up in the air, and then there's just cut off limbs all everywhere, like a battlefield all around him. And I was like 10 when I drew that.
Hey man, it's creativity.
I was definitely a strange one.
You draw what you know, and if you watch a bunch of horror movies back then that's what you know.
I know, it's true. Smith appeared in the news again in 2015 when she babbled to the authorities about vampirism following her arrest for allegedly stabbing her boyfriend with a fucking pair of scissors, okay? What the fuck, man? So crazy. These people are fucking obviously. I just feel like these are the people that are on like psychotropic drugs, like the guy that shot the Batman movie theater.
Yeah, he was on really weird, like, and we shouldn't even say like, I mean, we should say drugs, but like pharmaceutical level. Oh yeah, 100%.
Changed. We'll talk about that. I know you want to specifically get into that episode, so that's that will be coming eventually from us.
Yeah,
Before anyone else does it, this is a mark on this date that we're fucking eventually going to do this stuff, and then we'll have someone steal our ideas.
Oh, I mean, it's been done.
It's been done. So.
People have definitely covered the James Holmes Aurora Theater shit already, but we'll do it different and we'll do it better in our own way.
More cringy, bitch. All right,
better, bitch. Okay, we're gonna go down to Virginia. Yahoo!
Have you ever seen that video? My favorite video ever. It's a guy. He's interviewing the dude in the street, and the guy's really stoned, and he's like, "Can you sing that song?" And he's like, "What song for Virginia?" Have you ever seen this guy wearing like a toque, and he's definitely like mushrooms or something? No. You ever seen that video? And then he gets like, it's like, finish this song. He's like, "Home in Virginia." Oh, it's fucking funny. I have to show you this shit.
Yes, please do.
Like super high, and it's the funniest, one of the funniest videos I've ever seen. Is that a word? Funniest? More funny. It's hilarious.
You know what it is? It's the cringiest.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Virginia probably isn't the first place you'd expect to find a pack of killer primates, but according to some witnesses, the state is crawling with murderous monkeys. Locals call these creatures devil monkeys. They resemble giant baboons, albeit with long canine snouts. The devil monkeys come equipped.
Big juicy red ass.
Big juicy, just mandrill ass. And they got them big old sagging orangutan titties, but then they got like saber-tooth style, like.
Oh yeah, because they have big teeth. You know, orangutan titties, just lick them.
Put it in full nest and lick them.
Okay.
They can allegedly reach up to heights of 6 feet, but they're usually about 4 feet. So with their red eyes, sharp claws, and ultra-aggressive attitudes, it should come as no surprise that devil monkeys don't get along with their human neighbors. According to a woman named Pauline Boyd, her parents were driving near Saltville, Virginia, when they were suddenly attacked by a powerful creature. The Boyd couple described the monster as having light, taffy-colored hair with a white blaze down its neck and underbelly. The creature was running on its back 2 legs, and the Boyds frantically tried to drive away. The devil monkey slashed at the vehicle, leaving 3 massive scratch marks on the side of the car.
Oh, shit.
A few days later, the devil monkey returned. 2 nurses were driving around the same area near Saltville when the monster pounced on their car and tore off the convertible roof. As you can imagine, the nurses were terrified, but they managed to escape with their lives. Since then, the devil monkeys have been seen multiple times throughout the years, hopping across roads, vanishing into trees, and stealing fruit from people's yards.
Oh, shit. Crazy. This crazy devil monkey, man.
Monkey!
All right. This is interesting. So this is Werewolf of Texas. So a photo surfaced on the internet of a bloody hand holding a decapitated dog's head. It was traced to Sarah Wolfie Blackheart Rodriguez.
What a name.
Sarah Wolfie Blackheart Rodriguez. Give me a second and I'll show you.
Double hyphenate? So like, was she born a hyphenate and then became another hyphenate after being married?
Just, we'll get into this, but give me 1 second for the video. I'll show you something. Speaking about emo people, you want to see what a picture of this chick looks like?
Yes. Holy scene kid, Batman.
I know, literally, this chick is so emo. Here's another one. It literally looks like the friends I used to have when I was 14.
Oh yeah. Yep, we all know those people.
Like
I was one of those peoples, but not that skinny.
Tons of friends like that. Crazy.
I didn't have the bangs though. I just had kind of longish.
No, I had the big. So when I was super emo, Chelsea has photos of me on her old computer, and I need her to dig them up because it's fucked how emo I was. I wore makeup. I've said this before. I got kicked out of high school for wearing makeup. I said on the stream, I think it was the Valentine's Day stream. I went into detail about that.
Yeah, yes, you did.
So yeah, for everyone that misses the streams, like pay attention to the Instagram and stuff like that because we do live streams around certain holidays. There will be one actually before this you can check out because I'm at this time. I think the time this releases, it will be after St. Patty's Day. So we're doing one for St. Patty's Day. So you'll be able to check that out on YouTube. Eventually they'll all be transferred to Patreon when I decide I want to do that. And they'll be exclusively for Patreon after they're released. Mm-hmm. But I got suspended for wearing makeup and stuff like that. But Chelsea has photos of me, but I used to have like black hair with like pink in it. And then I would do the whole spike it at the back.
Oh my God.
Back with it's crazy.
And scene kid hair was Karen hair before Karen hair was a thing.
It was just I don't understand. Like you see a couple of goth kids nowadays. At the time when I grew up, around 2003,
kids aren't goth kids.
I know goth kids are different, but I'm saying, listen to this. That there in that time of 2002 to 2005 or 6, it was so popular. Everyone dressed kind of punk or kind of scene. Like almost everyone I knew. It was just it was a fad. Everyone was wearing cutoff gloves and spike bracelets and.
See, we were all right before that, so I feel like we were the ones that kind of spawned that shit.
Yeah,
because we were attempting to be goth when goth was only a thing in the 80s.
Hawthorne Heights, Atreyu, all these bands that influenced all this shit.
I was thinking more like along the lines of like the Cradle of Filth years, all the black metal shit and stuff like that.
And then spawned this very depressing, like I'm going to douse myself in gasoline if this girl does not give me her number.
I was much more like reading Sandman and The Crow and Johnny the Homicidal Maniac and H.P. Lovecraft and Poe and listening to sad sack shit too. But
this bloody hand holding decapitated dog head, the photo that circulated around the internet, it was traced back to the Sarah Wolfie Blackheart Rodriguez. Sarah Wolfie Blackheart Rodriguez.
Say it 6 more times, but faster each time.
Fuck that. So yeah, it did look like me when I was 12. When So, and she was a local teen wolf, and this is what these emo kids do. They, and then this when I was pretending to be a werewolf, I was like 9 or 10. I wasn't. I was just having fun pretending to be things. I wasn't emo kid. I was just a fat kid with fucking shag hair. Or I think at 8 or 9, I had a bowl cut, but the top was blonde and underneath was fucking. I gotta find these pictures.
That's amazing.
It's in one school photo. I think I was like 8 or 9. It looks ridiculous. And so I guess she was in San Antonio area, and the alpha of the pack, this pack of emo kids, I guess, when confronted about the picture, she insisted that a friend found the dead dog and brought it to her. That's fucking weird. Given the context of, she did count taxidermy among one of her hobbies. Forensic analysis of the deceased dog had confirmed her story to be true. According to Rodriguez, she would never hurt another dog. I would never kill a canine. I am a canine, is what she said. I would never hurt a canine. I am a canine. So strange. So the kids were not evil, but as one pack member states, they're just trying to live their lives.
Yeah, just morbid kids doing morbid shit. That's fine. It's a thing. I mean, it sounds like they're, those kids are generally the ones that are vegetarians and aren't really into anything that's like, I don't want to get violent, but I'm really into dead stuff.
I really do like hurting myself, though. It makes me feel better. It makes me feel something. So I don't know how many stories you have. I have a really small one next.
Yeah, I've got a couple more.
Okay. Get into it.
Get into it. All right, this one is the Washington, D.C. Demon Cat. This one is the Jersey Devil Rampage of 1909.
Okay, you know the whole sound effect, that goddamn cat again?
Yeah.
That's
from that. I know.
Me and Juan talked about we talked about the hauntings around the White House, and we talked about.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh my god.
You gotta stop smoking so much weed.
No, I don't. Edit this out.
All right. Video listeners, too bad.
No, video listeners, you're welcome. All right, you're welcome. No, for this one, we're going to go. You guys didn't do the. I know you didn't do the Enfield. You did the Enfield Poltergeist, but not the Enfield Horror, correct?
Also, something we might dive into eventually in the full case, because I do have it ready to go sometime.
The Poltergeist or the creature?
Both. I want to do both.
Okay.
You can mention. You can talk about it, because I'll change this for the audio and just say we might dive into the full story. Okay.
So for this one, here's a little snippet that we may go into the full story much later down the line, or maybe closer than later down the line. But this is the Enfield Horror, not to be confused with the Enfield Poltergeist,
which will be coming up. I do have that written out, so for everybody.
Yeah, Enfield Poltergeist, I believe, is Enfield, England somewhere, and this is in Illinois.
Yes, totally different, but it's funny how they both have Enfield in it.
Two different fucking sides of the pond. That's because when settlers came to America, Tom, they were not original.
Yeah, I know. I live in a place called Paris. And there's London, Ontario. We rip up everybody's names.
So Greg Garrett was an average kid from Enfield, Illinois, but on April 25th, 1973, he was attacked by a not-so-average monster. Garrett describes the creature as having 3 legs, red eyes, and slimy gray skin. Even worse, it hated his shoes. Those shoes are tacky, bitch. Take them the fuck off.
Let's get some shoes.
Home. Walk your ass home, boy.
I wish I had that sound clip. Let's get some shoes.
Oh my god, shit.
Yeah. What's that part where she's like,
cool.
Not that
These
one.
Shoes suck.
These shoes suck. Oh yeah.
These shoes are $300 fucking. Let's get them.
If you guys don't know what that is, go on YouTube and just type in shoes. At the time when I was super, this is when this kind of came out. YouTube first started, and it's fucking. She has another one called Muffins. It's very stupid.
I'm making muffins as best as I can.
Before trans was a big thing, it was CD. Was not cross-dressing kind of?
No, Kelly is much more in the style of British comedy where men just dress up in non-traditional gender clothes, like Monty Python did, Benny Hill did, all of them did.
What's that little guy? He always wears makeup. He's a really, really funny comedian. Eddie
Izzard.
Eddie Izzard, yes, that's.
But Eddie Izzard is actually. I believe Eddie Izzard identifies as trans now, but back in the day, I self-identified as TV, which is transvestite. Yeah,
Eddie Izzard is a smart dude.
Dress to Kill, I have almost all of it memorized still. That was one of my favorite things when I was a lad.
Smart something.
Anyways,
Okay, everybody love everybody.
The monster started stomping at Garrett's feet, tearing up the boy's sneakers with its claws. Garrett took off screaming, seeking refuge inside his home. But the reign of the Enfield horror was far from over. About 30 minutes later, Henry McDaniel and his children heard something scratching at their house.
Daniel.
Hoping it was just a dog, McDaniel opened his door to find a nearly 5-foot-tall thing with saucer-shaped eyes and arms rolling out of its chest. No. His eyes were saucer-shaped. His balls, on the other hand, were sausage-shaped.
Ew, that would be disgusting. You said the eyes were on his chest?
No, he had an extra arm coming out of his chest.
That's not scary at all.
McDaniel freaked out, grabbed his pistol, and blasted the creature several times to no effect. It just hissed like a wildcat and leapt into the woods. Police officers later found dog-like footprints in McDaniel's yard.
Say it hissed again.
It hissed like a wildcat and leapt into the woods.
I know I got a hiss somewhere. Oh, maybe I took it off. Never mind. Fuck it. I swear I had a hiss, but I guess I don't.
Officers later found dog-like footprints in McDaniel's yard, but each track had 6 toe pads. It also looked like this thing was walking around on 3 feet. The media quickly picked up on the story, and soon monster hunters were reporting beastly encounters. Both a local radio news director and famed cryptozoologist, Lauren Coleman, claimed to have heard its eerie cry. Then, suddenly, the creature just vanished, and things in Enfield quieted down again. But if you explore the history of the region, you will find that in the 1940s, a similar creature plagued the nearby town of Mount Vernon. Was it the same monster? Will it return? And if it does, will it do more than just stomp on shoes?
God damn it. Let's get some shows.
These just roll.
They just suck. All right. Man punches zombie at a diner at a local Mexico restaurant. Mexico. Nice. In Iowa City, a man was executed. No, Holmes. Hey, fucker. I was watching Jamie Kennedy's stand-up. It's from like 2010.
There go our Hispanic listeners.
No, they got Billy. Billy's the whitest Mexican of all time. And his mom was Mexican. Her name is Helena. So smoking up the bowl. We got to represent now that our logo is literally a fucking alien and we're inside of the bong of the alien as he smokes us. So So in Iowa City, a man was accused of approaching a stranger in line at a local restaurant and punching him in the face while exclaiming that the man was a zombie. This guy's like, it's like waiting in line. He looks over. It's some fucking crackhead, methed out dude just wanting to eat something. He's like, yo, it's a fucking zombie. And he fucking punches him.
I think the dude that punched the dude was probably on meth.
Yeah, he then punched the zombie one more time, breaking his nose. He's like, Jesus Christ, this zombie's pretty vigilant. And he fucking punches him again.
Oh my God.
The man then ran out the back door. Paramedics took the victim to the hospital. His attacker was never fucking caught. This guy just punched a man in the face at a Mexican restaurant and ran away.
Dead ass.
So crazy, man.
Dead ass. All right. Was that the last one that you have, or do you have any more?
Oh, I got more.
Okay. Well, then I have 2 more if you want.
And I have 4 more. So let me do.
Well, then I can have more than that then.
Okay. We're gonna go fucking long ass.
We're not gonna go long ass, but so we have. This one is super duper long, but I can condense it.
Let me get into my first one. That one, short little Mexican man or crackhead punching a guy in the face. That one was intense.
Go right ahead.
Yes. So prospectors do battle with an angry band of Bigfoots. This is interesting. So in 1924, an epic battle between gold prospectors and creatures of unknown origin took place in the narrow swath of land of Mount St. Helens in Oregon, now called Ape Canyon. The group consisted of Fred Beck, Gabe Lever, John Peterson, Marin Smith and Smith's son Roy. Marin Smith, his son named Roy. So the report coming across they reported they came across 4 ape-like creatures, all around 7 feet in height, covered in long black hair, near the cabin. Terrified at the sight of these animals, Beck opened a fire shot of his rifle. He shot him. He went pew 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 pew. So I forgot. Here is it's funny thing is I do have this. So I did have the hiss. My bad. So, terrified at the sight of these creatures, they opened fire with his rifle, hitting one in the chest 3 times, wounded the creature, and the creature toppled off a fucking cliff. Like this is like straight out of a movie. The men woke up later that night to the sound of large stones hammering their cabin. The 3 surviving animals weren't happy with Beck's slaughter of one of their brethren, and they sought revenge against their attackers. Despite tearing a hole in the cabin's roof, the prospectors managed to survive the night. And when they felt sure the creatures have abandoned their attack, they hightailed it off to the mountain and reported their encounter to local law enforcement. Fucking intense, bro.
Fucking intense. The best part of camping.
Yes. So word spread, prompting the U.S. Forest Service to investigate the matter. Unfortunately, deemed the prospector's tale to be a hoax, but that didn't stop the public interest in the phenomenon. So, as well as similar stories emerging from Oregon. I know you hate how I pronounce stuff, everybody. Oregon. So, the Oregon wilderness, given the rise to the modern legend of Bigfoot as we know it so well. So, there's so many reports of Bigfoot, and that's just another one.
I have another one too.
Really? All right, let's
I
go
have 2 more Bigfoot ones actually, but Tom's touching his ball, everyone.
All right, let's do it.
This very bizarre account begins in 1855 in the region of the present U.S. states of Oklahoma and Arkansas, where the once mighty Choctaw nation of Native Americans once ruled over all they saw. In this year, there was an apparent scourge of unseen bandits venturing forth from the wilderness to steal vegetables and even livestock. This was no big deal until it gradually progressed into kidnapping children of the tribe.
Of course.
That provoked a swift and violent reaction. So a search party was formed, composed of a group of very large warriors referred to as the Light Horsemen, the biggest of whom was the towering Hamas Tubi and his 6 sons. These sons were...
or Tubi not.
Hamas Tubi. My name's Hamas Tubi. So they were all reported to be about 7 feet or more in height, big motherfucking dudes, or BFIs.
Same fucking creatures. They just survived longer. They fucked each other because they fucked each other's cousins, and now this is them, or that was them later on. Now this is them when they first emerged.
Okay. So the search party consisted of the 8 Tubies, 30 other very large Indians, and the
Native Americans were that big.
Want me to get the fucking picture down?
So then, was it the Bigfoots? It was the Native.
No, this is the tribe. This is the tribe of the Choctaw that were 7 feet tall. Well, yeah. So the dad and the brothers were 7 feet tall.
A bunch of indigenous Yao Mings, I guess.
The Tubies. Well, I mean,
to be or not to be.
So those 8 Choctaw warriors and 30 other warriors were led by a part French, part Choctaw general by the name of Josh Lafleur. Joshua Lafleur.
All right, yeah.
So they headed out into the wilderness early in the morning from the tribal capital in Tuscaloma. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that. They had high-powered rifles and pistols and a thirst for blood and revenge. These proud warriors no doubt thought that it would be a simple matter of grabbing the bandits and exerting their justice upon them.
Ooh, their justice.
The warriors entered deep into the region, which is now known as the McCurtain County Wilderness, which is in present-day Oklahoma. After 8 hours of nonstop riding through the blazing June sun, they arrived at a spot near the Clover River to rest, eat, and recharge. They remounted, watered their horses, and continued on the last leg of their tiring journey. After nearly 14 hours of nonstop travel, the men reached the area where the bandits were said to be, and it was here that Lafleur gave the order to halt. He pulled out a crude telescope, peered off into the distance. The men talked amongst themselves, and the horses just did their horsey things.
Wait, what is what do you say about the telescope? A crude telescope?
Yeah, so like an old school spotting telescope.
It's a rolled up newspaper.
Yep, with 2 pieces of cellophane, which I didn't know that they had back then, but apparently they had cling wrap, Ziploc bags, and all sorts of shit. He gave the order to charge. The bloodthirsty warriors mounted their horses and charged towards the crowd of what they assumed were bandits. Their powerful drive forward was soon brought to a halt when the smell of death and decay became overwhelming and made the horses buck several of the riders. They rolled on the ground, coughing, hacking. The smell was just that awful.
That's disgusting.
Some of the warriors, however, including the Tubies and LaFleur himself, were able to manage to control their animals and kept riding through the stink towards the bandits. As they reached the center of the source, the smell had dissipated, but there in the center, they found what was described as some sort of earthen mound that had embedded within it and strewn about it numerous corpses, varying levels of decomposition. There was no sign of human bandits, but nearby were 3 enormous ape-like creatures covered with hair. They were so tall that they stashed even the biggest of the Tubi warriors. They did not appear to be afraid, not in the least. What happened next was just as dramatic and over the top as any action movie. LaFleur charged the strange beasts, pistol and saber in hand, and howling the whole time. One of the creatures stepped forward and bitch slapped that horse, breaking its neck and knocking LaFleur to the ground. LaFleur sprung back up like a true warrior, chased after the creatures, but had his head ripped clean off by one of the creatures.
Holy fuck.
This all happened before any of the other warriors had a chance to even react. Upon seeing their general decapitated by a bare-handed ape and thrown to the ground, they fired their bullets and killed all but one of them. One of the Tubi warriors is reported to even have chopped the head off of a living creature with his bare hands and a hunting knife.
That sounds fun.
In the aftermath, it was simply a few scattered native warriors ready for the next attack. The attack never came, so they got to the tedious work of burying the bodies. There were at least 19 children amongst the bodies.
Wow.
The bodies of the beasts were burnt onto a bonfire.
You know why? You know what the word bonfire comes from, right? Do you know that, right?
No.
Bone fire. Where they used to sacrifice people.
Makes sense. How skull comes from skull.
Yeah, it's so weird. All right, this one's fucked. Let's get into it. That one was pretty intense, man.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
A battle of the Bigfoots. We got two.
Yeah. Sorry.
We have two. We had one battle of Bigfoot where nobody believed them, but this sounds like these indigenous people really battled out with some creatures.
Yeah, some big ass warriors too managed to off 3 of them, but that dude getting his head clean ripped off and his horse bitch slapped to death was.
Are they sure it wasn't like wrong turn, like Arkansas cousin fuckers that just breeded for too many generations?
Did you ever see Bone Tomahawk?
So yeah, I know what it is. I haven't seen it though.
The cannibalistic native tribe.
No, I'll have to check that out.
With Kurt Russell.
I've heard good things.
So it's very slow, but then when it gets to the actual battle scenes, it's fucking brutal.
Is that Paris Hilton horror movie Repo something any good?
Repo the Genetic Opera is fantastic. Bill Moseley is in it, and you get to watch Paris Hilton's face fall off.
Okay, the guy that he wanted me to get my trucking license so I could help him move cars. He works on movie sets. He's worked on Handmaid's Tale. He's like my girlfriend's dad's friend, and that's the movie. I asked him if he ever worked on any horror movies, and that's the one he said he worked on. He's like the one with Paris Hilton and stuff like that. So he's worked on movie sets, and I've never seen it. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll have to give it a watch because he helped. He gets the cars for movie sets and stuff like that, and he was all drunk showing us pictures and stuff. It was pretty cool of him with who's the guy? What's that? Give me the best of you.
Dave Grohl.
Yeah, he hung out with Dave Grohl.
Cool.
And yeah, kind of crazy, eh?
That's nuts.
It would be kind of cool to hang out with Dave Grohl, honestly. I have different opinions on him sometimes, but you know what? I like some of the music.
That reminds me of that one meme that was floating around. Wait, the dude from Foo Fighters looks an awful lot like the drummer from Nirvana. It's like, yeah, no fucking shit.
So let's talk about a police officer encounters a wicked witch.
Ooh, spooky.
So in Galapu, I had the Guadalupe.
Guadalupe.
In Guadalupe, what's NL, Mexico? NL. Is that what's
I have no idea. I
it's
don't know
so-
any regions of
where'd you
Mexico.
get that shit from?
This?
Yeah.
This was a Bed Bath & Beyond, or Bath & Body Works Halloween exclusive from like 4 years ago.
Really?
Holy shit. Yeah, dude.
That's fucking trippy as shit. I would love that. That's from Bed Bath & Beyond? Wow.
No, it's Bath & Body Works. The
Oh,
smelly store in the mall.
what the fuck? That was so weird. That thing's awesome.
Yeah, they do cool Halloween shit. So does Yankee Candle.
Yankee.
And that's the gayest thing I'll say all day.
So Guadalupe in New Mexico? What's NL?
No, New Mexico would be NM. NL would be NL is probably just the abbreviation for a province in Mexico that I don't know.
Oh, so Guadalupe, Mexico police officer Leonardo Samimenigoye, whatever. His name is Leonardo. Got the scare of his life. Well, when on January 16, 2004, he encountered a terrifying supernatural entity while patrolling the streets. So Leonardo saw a dark figure. He saw a dark figure drop from a tree, but stopped in midair before touching the ground. That's fucking really strange. So
Nuevo Leon.
What?
Nuevo Leon.
The way that's where he's from.
Nuevo Leon. Yeah, that's what NL stands for.
So the figure slowly turned around. Leonardo turned on his high beams. He stated, "It was a woman all dressed up in black that fell from a tree, but she didn't touch the ground. She remained floating for several feet from the ground. I saw her very well, and then she landed softly on the ground and stood there looking at me. She is trying to cover her face from the lights of the car. I think they're bothering her. I could see 2 black eyes on her, completely blacked out with eyelids. And her skin was very dark brown. She was all dressed up in black with a cloak and a cape. A witch. She seemed very upset by the lights." That's my best Mexican
That was
accent.
beautiful. Billy would be proud.
So at this point, the witch, as Leonardo later described her, flew up onto the car, attempted to the right of the car, through the car's windshield. She tried to get into the car from the right side of the windshield, which is fucking crazy, trying to grab him. This creepy witch that she was hanging from a tree and then slowly floated to the ground, proceeds to jump on his car. Then the officer lost consciousness and awoke sometime later to the paramedics attending his condition. Other police officers arrived at the scene, but no evidence of this witch ever surfaced. However, other officers later came forward, claiming they have seen the exact same woman a week before Leonardo's actual encounter. That one's intense, man. You ever seen that video? And I wish I should have played it for at least the YouTube. You ever seen that video of that creepy woman on the streets? One of the scariest videos on the internet thing. And just this woman in a dress, and she's like walking towards the car, and she's like going back and forth. If you've never seen this, I'm gonna send it to you.
Might have, but you should send it to me so I can watch it just in case. But
For
I
all
don't know.
yeah. For all listeners, Strange Brew Podcast on Instagram. I'll throw up on the Instagram page when this when this episode comes out. Remind me, Anton, because I'll actually throw that up. Just referencing this. It's what it reminds me of. This creepy ass woman. She's like shuffling towards the car, and it's frightening. It's extremely scary.
That reminds me of another shameless self-promotion for us. The Twitter will be up and running here soon as well, people. It'll be active once again.
Anton's going to take over the Twitter because I have too many responsibilities with every other fucking page I do, between like TikTok, the website, eventually Facebook, when I'm not banned anymore. I got like 5 more hours. So.
And for our Twitch, our not our Twitch followers, but our Twitter people, we're gonna do a couple episodes as well. Having you can just tweet at us while we're doing the episode. I'll send out a tweet couple days before and let y'all know when it's happening.
So it's at Real Strange Brew. That's our Twitter. Jesus Christ. So I got dos more.
Dos more.
The car
Okay.
Empire. She attacked my car.
So for this one, we have the Jersey Devil Rampage of 1909. I know I mentioned we were going to do it before, and eventually I know we'll do a full-on.
I
Jersey
want to do
Devil.
that sooner than later.
I want to go to the Pine Barrens. Like that's I'm trying to plan some sort, as long as everything works. I'm trying to plan some sort of mini road trip where I can hit the Pine Barrens, I can hit the Flatwood Monster Museum, and I can hit the Mothman in Point Pleasant. And
how about you wait for me to be able to cross the border so I can be free again?
That'd be amazing, and then we could film it.
That's what we would do. And then we talked about this for Patreon. Me and Anton will be filming our adventures when I eventually come down to Buffalo. I want this shit to end. I want to be able to come over the border. You're closer to me than my own mother is. So
Yep. Same.
I want to get this
ass down here.
So yeah, and I if I would have known, like, you know what I mean, like we've discussed it, and it's now actually on Patreon as one of the Lost Tapes episodes where we've talked about the Jersey Devil, and I think it's the one I'm thinking of that's on the Patreon. But I want to get into the actual full case because it is fucked up.
All of the legends and the sightings and everything, yeah. So the Jersey Devil is one of the most famous monsters in American folklore. According to legend, it was born to a human mother in 1735. Thanks to a curse, the baby morphed into a horned, winged beast. For all you Twitch listeners, there's my little Jersey Devil.
That's cool.
Cryptic hands. After killing its mom, the devil disappeared into the New Jersey Pine Barrens. I've heard altering accounts that it either killed the mom or it didn't kill the mom, or she, raised it as her own and just kind of sheltered it. So we'll go into that more in the actual episode. Since then, the devil has been seen multiple times, most notably during 1909. Between January 16th and 23rd, the monster was spotted by numerous witnesses in both New Jersey and Philadelphia. People were so scared of the beast that schools were shut down, businesses were closed, and trolley lines allegedly hired armed guards. That's just to get people to and from work. They're so freaked out by this shit. Shit. Witnesses described the Jersey Devil in all sorts of crazy ways. Some said it was 3 feet tall, while others said 6. Some said it had a ram's head. Others said it possessed monkey hands, while some claimed it looked like a kangaroo. Everyone agreed it walked on 2 legs and had leathery wings and a nasty disposition. On January 21st, the devil attacked a trolley car in Haddon Heights, New Jersey, frightening the passengers inside. Shortly afterward, it appeared in Philadelphia and supposedly began spitting fire at a frightened housewife. Hours later, the devil...
That's him spitting his fire.
Spitting that fire.
Spitting some rhymes, bro.
And he's just dropping fucking mad rhymes on people.
He was spitting fire.
Hours later, the devil landed atop a house in West Collingswood. Firefighters tried to knock it off with a water hose, but that only made the devil mad, who started freestyling even more. Wanting revenge, the beast spread his wings and dive-bombed people at the streets. After a shower of stones forced it to retreat, the devil ended up in Camden, where it attacked Mary Sorbinski's dog. Fortunately, Sorbinski saved her poor pet by beating the creature with a broom. While the devil didn't claim any human lives in 1909, it left quite an impression, and today its legend still looms large over the entire state.
Fucking crazy. Well, that's going to be at least an hour and a half episode because it goes pretty deep. Once you start getting into the guts of the story, it's pretty fucked up.
It's crazy. It's fucking crazy.
All right. So the ghost in England. It loves to crash cars. Smashy. The ghost, it's a ghost that loves boxcar derbies. Is that what you call it? Derbies? I haven't been doing derbies since I was a kid.
Boxcar derbies? Pine car derbies? Like the Boy Scout things?
No, we go to the fair and people crash cars for some reason.
Demolition derby.
That's what it is. My brother loves that shit.
I've never been.
You never been? I've seen at least
been to a demo derby
3 or 4 times. It's always at the fair that's close to this town I lived in. Yeah. And it's very loud.
Of course, I wouldn't go anywhere with an indoor car track and not have headphones.
So no, it's not indoor, it's outdoor.
Still.
So reports surfaced in 2002 that a particular area along a remote England road might be haunted by the ghost of a woman who crashed there decades before. That, moreover, this ghost forced other drivers towards the same fate. Though there was no fatalities, a slew of car crashes occurred in the exact same spot on A465 near Bromyard in Herefordshire. With all vehicles slamming into farmers' fencing. In many of these incidents, the drivers report feeling as though someone or something took control of their steering wheel, forcing them off the road. During the investigation of these reports, City Councilor Richard James spoke of a mysterious man who approached him in a nearby pub. It's like, hey, do you want to jerk me off? Do you want to watch me jerk you off?
What do you say we take a little trip to the bathroom? You know what I mean?
When Jane saw Bob, he's like, we'll jerk you off. You can watch. We'll suck each other's cock, and you can watch.
And afterwards, you make it fast and sexy. And afterwards, you say, "My, what a lovely tea party."
I fucking love one of my favorite movies of all time. That's definitely a watch party, and that 100% will be on the Unreal reviews, because when I went through a breakup when I was 13, I watched it every single day for about 2 weeks, probably.
Which explains so much of your personality.
During his investigation of these reports, obviously, so he's this guy, Richard James, spoke of a mysterious man who approached him. This man told James the accidents were the work of a ghost who, in her living form, perished at that spot after fighting with another person for control of her steering wheel. The man assured James that no one would ever die there. Dun, dun, dun. Man assured that no one would ever die there, however. So that no one has ever died there. They've been scared, they've crashed, but no one has died. So she's almost probably showing, be like, this happened to me, but I died. I don't know. It's strange.
It's very weird.
There's a lot, like, if you throw back, I actually love this episode when we talked about Route 666. Route 66. That episode.
Route 66. Route 666 is a movie with Lou Diamond Phillips.
Yeah, the Route 66 is fucked. That's an interesting. So let's get into your last one, and let's get into my last one, and then we'll let's get into the monsters. Let's get into bring it to a close with some crazy stories.
All right. So in 1954, a small fishing boat was attacked and sunk off the coast of Japan. Shortly after this news broke, the Coast Guard scrambled to assemble a search and rescue team to locate the missing fishers and get to the cause of the catastrophe. An investigation into the sinking of the fishing boat was launched. Its last position is known, but the cause of the sinking was still a mystery, though an explosion was suspected. A rescue vessel, Bingo Maru, approached the location of the sinking, but communication with the vessel was lost. After a flash of light erupted out of the water, it was believed that the Bingo Maru suffered the same fate as the Iko Maru. On a nearby island, the launch port of the missing fishing boats, residents began scanning the sea looking for signs of the boat. A raft was found, which held one of the missing fishers, one of them who happened to live on the island. The rescuers pulled in the raft, and the survivor claimed that a monster did it. They later collapsed into a near-death state. Days later, other fishing boats returned to the island, complaining that their nets were all empty. One of the island's elders claims that it was the god of the sea eating the fish. Other members of the village laughed and dismissed the idea as mere superstition. Later that day, a helicopter landed on the island carrying press and military officials. They wanted to interview the survivor, who claimed it was a monster. The village elder gets their attention and tells them the legend of an ancient sea god. He then details the history of sacrifices the island used to make to appease the deity. Now all that is left is all that remains of those former sacrifices was the religious ceremony itself. Later that night, a typhoon hit the island. No more than usual, but a pretty nasty storm. Along with the normal noises that accompanied a storm, they heard something huge moving around. The next morning, 12 houses were found to have been absolutely destroyed during the night, and at least 9 people were found dead.
Oh, shit.
Eyewitness accounts claimed that the destruction of the houses was unusual because damages normally caused by a storm of that size were minimal. Scientific task force was assembled to investigate further. They went into the island to investigate the situation. When they arrived on the island, the team quickly began their investigation. First, they detected radiation around the ruined buildings and the water wells. Later, a series of huge shallow depressions were discovered and measured. Became apparent that the depressions are that of giant footprints. In one of the prints, they found a trilobite, which is a creature that was believed to have been extinct for millions of years.
Troglodyte?
A trilobite.
Troglodyte. No, a troglodyte. Troglodyte.
Yes, but
in Dungeons and Dragons.
That's right. So on the other side of the island, there was an alarm that went off. Loud rhythmic thunder was heard, and it sounded an awful lot like the same noise when they heard during the storm. A few villagers decided to climb to the island's central ridge to see what was going on. They then witnessed something that would stick with them forever. A huge reptilian rose up from the water, roared at the villagers, and disappeared. They ran forward towards the water to try and get a better glimpse of it, but it just disappeared back into the water. But it did leave a huge series of tracks along the beach.
What the fuck? You know what we always say?
Reptile wins.
Crazy. That one's fucked, actually.
It is.
All right, let's get into our last one. A bloodthirsty ghoul bites off a man's ear.
Ooh,
With Mike
yummy.
Tyson.
Tasty.
Mike Tyson came out of the woods and he bit his ear off.
I don't appreciate it when people are calling me a ghoul. It hurts my feelings that I'm going to have to hurt the face.
Fucking. All right, let's get to the last one.
Do it up.
In April 2016, Chad Feeney. Have you ever seen Boy Meets World?
Yeah, unfortunately.
What do you mean, unfortunately?
I mean what I said.
I absolutely loved that show. And then when I was a teenager, Chad Feeney reminded me of Mr. Feeney.
Yep.
I don't give a shit. Love that show. When me and Chelsea were probably 20, 21, she had all of them on DVD.
Okay.
Or some of them on DVD. What we did? I remember now. We found them at Walmart, so we bought them on DVD.
Okay.
I proceeded to get violently high and watch Boy Meets World all the time, and it was fucking awesome.
Right on.
You don't like it? You don't like it? It's something I just grew up
It's
to.
not my flavor. It's not my flavor. I watched it a lot when I was a kid and then just never watched it again.
I loved it. I don't give a shit. So in April 2016, Chad Feeney sat in the common area of YMCA. After a long night of boozing, sounds strange enough, he began having a conversation with a man there at the YMCA. I wonder where this is going. He's like, "Can you meet me in the shower? Why are you gay?" I remember saying that to Billy, and Billy's like, "I never heard that before." I was like, "You've never heard that before when you were a kid?" And he's like,
That's
"No."
one of the oldest ones in the book.
I know, it is. So strange. So eventually, getting on the topic of food, he's like, "Okay, since we're talking about showing each other our dicks, what kind of food do you like?" At this point, the man told Feeney his favorite dish was rare steak, and suddenly lunged, sinking his teeth into Feeney's ear. There was a massive chop, and then there was blood everywhere, Feeney stated. There was blood all over his mouth, and he was laughing manically to himself. Is that manically? Can you give a manic laugher? Yeah, that is pretty manic. The YMCA staff rejected the man from the premises. Oh, it's funny. It says the YMCA staff ejected the man. So
they ejected him after erecting him.
The man from the premises before police arrived, and he was never to be seen again. Pretty fucking weird, man.
That was spoopy doopy.
Pretty crazy. That was we want to do something light, something really fun, because we're gonna be getting into some serious shit, some fun stuff, and we've done more or less bigger topics, straight topics of stuff. So I want to get into a bunch of different fun monster attacks, and I had a lot of fun doing this episode.
Yeah, this was a really good time.
So you know where to find us. You know what? The best way to support us is buy merch. We have new merch designs coming out. The time this episode releases, the new logo design will be out. We'll have the OG logo. We have the one you see in the corner right here for our YouTube stream. We have a bunch of different style merches. We'll have a new one coming soon, created by Anton's buddy. We have a bunch of stuff that is coming down the pipeline for merch designs, and obviously the best way to support us is on Patreon. And you know what? For all those fans, we were lacking on the Patreon for a while, and now we're starting to put up a lot of content. Before we were aiming for 2-3 things a month, but recently we've released a lot of different episodes, lost tapes, strange streams where you see us play horror games and watch Juan scream his ass off. So
he's got to play more with us.
I know he's got to get on more with us. He's got to get devoured because that would be fun to see him.
Mm-hmm.
So especially when the lady pops out. So you can find that on www.patreon.com/strangebrewpodcast, but also, follow us on Instagram, Strange Brew, anywhere, just look up Strange Brew Podcast.
Yep.
You know where to find us.
HP Shovecraft on Instagram, HP Shovecraft on TikTok, Invader Daggett _TTV for Twitch.
Fuck yeah.
And we will have the @RealStrangeBrew Twitter up and running here soon. Probably by the time this episode airs, it'll be fired up and going.
That over because I hate fucking Twitter.
And then also keep your eyes peeled for Dr. Kaiju's Hour of Trash coming soon to any streaming platform near you.
Yes, Hoseheads production. Yes, it will be part of the Hoseheads production. So we appreciate you. We love everybody. Remember, always stay strange.
Stay strange.